Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into the nitty-gritty of corporate filings. Today we're diving into a report from Signing Day Sports, and let me tell you, it looks like someone got a bonus bonanza. We're going to uncover who got the money and what it means for the company. This is a Form 8K which companies use to report significant events to the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, kind of like a corporate bat signal. This particular report is about some big changes in who's getting paid what, so let's get right to it. Scroll compensatory arrangements to certain officers. Scroll, alright, let's break down the juicy details about who's getting what. Specifically, this report is all about compensatory arrangements, which is just a fancy way of saying how much money people are making. On April 17, 2025, the company's compensation committee decided to hand out some discretionary cash bonuses. Discretionary means these bonuses weren't guaranteed. They were given out based on the committee's say-so, like a reward for good behavior or maybe just a thank you for hard work. First up, we have Daniel Nelson, the Chief Executive Officer, or CEO. He's getting a cool $140,000. Not bad for a day's work, right? Next in line is Damon Rich, the Chief Financial Officer, or CFO. He's getting a $50,000 bonus. The CFO is usually in charge of the money, so it's good to see him getting a piece of the pie. Scroll Jeffrey Hekwinski, President, who's getting a $95,000 bonus. The President usually handles the day-to-day and reports to the CEO. Last but not least, Craig Smith, the Chief Operating Officer, or COO, and also the Secretary, is getting $105,000. He is in charge of operations and processes. It is mentioned that these bonuses were in addition to any compensation that the recipients may be entitled to or eligible for under their respective employment or consulting agreements with the company. It means these bonuses were extra on top of their regular paychecks. So, what does all this mean? Well, on one hand, it could mean the company is doing well and rewarding its top executives for their hard work. Bonuses can be a sign of a successful year or a way to incentivize executives to keep up the good work. But on the other hand, it could also raise some eyebrows, especially if the company isn't performing as well as it could be. It's always worth asking whether these bonuses are justified by the company's overall performance now. For my take on this situation. So what does all this mean? Well, on one hand, on this situation, it is important to remember that I'm not aware of the company performance. The fact that the company handed out these discretionary bonuses to its top executives tells us a few things. First, it suggests that the company has the cash available to reward its executives. Second, it indicates that the compensation committee believes these executives deserve the extra compensation. However, there are some potential downsides to consider. For one, these bonuses could be seen as excessive, especially if the company isn't performing up to par. It could also create resentment among other employees who didn't receive bonuses ultimately. Whether these bonuses are a good thing or a bad thing depends on the specific circumstances of the company. Whilst it is important to note that I do not have enough information about the company's financials to make an assessment, overall these executive bonuses might be a red flag or a signal of future success. It's something to keep an eye on as we follow Signing Day Sports' journey. That's all for today's episode of Corporate Decoder. I hope you found this breakdown helpful. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate filing. See you next time.